Here's your Soil Stories style article, written in a warm, personal, gardener-to-gardener voice, structured with clear subheadings, practical guidance, and an engaging flow. Even dead plants exploded back to life after I fed them this microbe liquid. Have you ever walked into your garden, looked at a struggling plant, and quietly said, "This one is done. There's no saving it"? I have. Yellow leaves, stunted growth, dry stems, no energy, no hope. Why plants die even when you water and fertilize. Let's talk honestly for a moment. Most of us think plants die because of lack of water or nutrients, so we respond by watering more or adding fertilizer, but sometimes, nothing changes. That's because plants don't just need nutrients, they need living soil to unlock those nutrients. Healthy soil is alive with billions of microbes, bacteria, fungi, protozoa, and tiny organisms that break down organic matter, convert nutrients into plant-available forms, protect roots from disease, stimulate root growth, improve soil structure, and help plants handle stress. Without microbes, fertilizer just sits there like locked food. It's like setting a plate of rice in front of someone but not giving them hands to eat. Microbes are the hands of your soil. When they're missing, plants starve, even in rich soil. The day I discovered the power of microbe liquid was honestly kind of a turning point for me. A few seasons ago, I had this bed of sukuma wiki and spinach that just, well, refused to grow. The leaves were pale, and growth was so slow. No matter what compost or manure I added, nothing really improved. Out of frustration, I just decided to try something different. Instead of feeding the plants directly, I fed the soil life. I brewed up a simple microbe liquid. Basically, it's a fermented solution packed with beneficial bacteria and fungi, and I drenched the soil with it. Within about 2 weeks, everything changed. The leaves deepened in color, growth pretty much doubled, and new shoots just exploded everywhere. It honestly looked like someone had swapped the plants overnight. That's when I realized something really important. Healthy plants are just a side effect. Healthy soil life is the real goal. So, what exactly is microbe liquid? Well, think of microbe liquid as, kind of like a living probiotic drink for your soil. It's a liquid that's just packed full of beneficial microorganisms that you pour right into your garden to, repopulate dead soil, speed up decomposition, release nutrients faster, boost root growth, and even strengthen plant immunity. Instead of waiting months for compost to slowly work its magic, this stuff delivers active life almost immediately. It's fast, it's cheap, and honestly, it's incredibly effective. So, how do microbes resurrect struggling plants? Well, here's what happens underground after you apply it. The microbes wake up and start feeding on organic matter. As they eat, they release nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium in forms plants can actually absorb. Fungi stretch through the soil like these tiny highways, carrying water and nutrients straight to the roots. Bacteria, on the other hand, protect roots from harmful pathogens. And as a result, roots grow longer and thicker. Now the part I love most. You don't need to buy anything fancy. You can make this right in your backyard. Here's the exact method I use. Start with a bucket of non-chlorinated water. If you use tap water, let it sit overnight so chlorine evaporates. Add a few handfuls of finished compost or forest soil. This is your microbe source. Next, add food for the microbes. A spoon of molasses, brown sugar, or even mashed ripe bananas works perfectly. Stir well, cover loosely so air can enter. Let it ferment for 24 to 48 hours in the shade. You'll notice a slightly sweet, earthy smell. That's life multiplying. Now you've got living microbe liquid. Dilute it with water until it looks like weak tea. Then drench your soil, not just the leaves. How and when to apply for maximum results. Timing really matters. I've learned that microbes work best when soil is moist and temperatures are moderate. Early morning or evening is just perfect. Pour the liquid directly around the roots. Don't spray heavily in hot sun because, well, UV light can kill microbes. For weak or dying plants, apply once a week. For maintenance, once every 2 or 3 weeks is enough. After rains is also ideal, because moisture helps microbes move deeper into the soil. So, what results should you expect? Well, don't expect miracles overnight. But, within just a few days you'll start to notice some subtle changes. Leaves will look greener, growth becomes faster, and the soil just feels softer and darker. You might even spot earthworms appearing. Then, after about 2 to 3 weeks, the difference really becomes obvious. Plants become thicker, stronger, and way more productive. In my own garden, even peppers that had stopped flowering suddenly exploded with blossoms. Tomatoes, well, they doubled their yield. And the herbs, they smelled more intense than ever. It honestly felt like the garden had come alive again, and you know what? That's because it had. So, why does this work better than chemical fertilizers? Well, chemical fertilizers feed plants directly, but microbes actually feed the whole ecosystem. Chemicals might give you quick results, but over time, they really weaken the soil. Microbes, on the other hand, build long-term fertility. With microbes, your soil just keeps getting better every season. You end up using less fertilizer, which means you save money, and your plants become naturally stronger. Honestly, it's sustainable gardening at its best. If there's one thing Soil Stories has taught me, it's this: stop thinking like a plant grower, start thinking like a soil builder. When you take care of the soil life, everything else takes care of itself. Instead of constantly fixing problems, you create a system where problems rarely happen, and that's the kind of garden we all want: low stress, high harvest, healthy soil. I still smile when I remember those dead plants I almost threw away. If I had given up, I would never have discovered this. Sometimes the difference between failure and success in the garden isn't more effort, it's simply adding life back into the soil. So next time you see a struggling plant, don't rush to pull it out. Feed the microbes first. You might be surprised how fast life returns. If this story helped you and you love learning simple, natural, powerful gardening methods like this, you're exactly who Soil Stories is for. Subscribe to the channel, share this with a fellow gardener, and let's keep growing healthier soil and stronger plants together. See you in the next story, and happy gardening.